Nordstrom brings you the season's most wanted brands. Skims, Mango, Free People, and Princess Polly, all under $100. From trending sneakers to beauty must-haves, we've curated the styles you'll wear on repeat this spring. Free shipping, free returns, and in-store pickup make it easier than ever. Shop now in stores and at Nordstrom.com.
Hey, Prime members, are you tired of ads interfering with your favorite podcasts? Good news! With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free podcasts. That's amazon.com/ad-free podcasts to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Banking with Capital One helps you keep more money in your wallet with no fees or minimums on checking accounts and no overdraft fees. Just ask the Capital One bank guy. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. He'd also tell you that this podcast is his favorite podcast, too. Ah, really? Thanks, Capital One bank guy. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
They say opposites attract. That's why the Sleep Number Smart Bed is the best bed for couples. You can each choose what's right for you, whenever you like. You like a bed that feels firm, but they want soft? Sleep Number does that. You want to sleep cooler, while they like to feel warm? Sleep Number does that too. Why choose a Sleep Number Smart Bed? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. Sleep Number Smart Beds start at $999. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. See store or sleepnumber.com for details.
This is the Daily Tech News for Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025. We tell you what you need to know, follow up on the context of those stories, and help each other understand.
Today, Chris Ashley returns to tell us about his barbecue tech fails, and we hear from you.
I'm Jenn Cutter.
I'm Huyen Dow.
Let's get started with what you need to know with the big story. Nintendo officially unveiled the highly anticipated Nintendo Switch 2, scheduled for launch on June 5th, 2025, with a starting price of $449.99 USD. A bundle including the new Mario Kart World will be available for $499.99. Pre-orders open April 9th in North America. The Switch 2 features a larger 7.9-inch LCD touchscreen with 1080p resolution, HDR10 support, and a variable refresh rate up to 120 Hz. This is an upgrade from the original Switch's 6.2-inch screen, capped at 720p. Powered by a custom NVIDIA processor, it supports 4K output at 60 frames per second when docked, claiming to offer a significantly sharper visual experience. Nintendo also boosted built-in storage to 256 gigabytes from the original's 32.
The redesigned Joy-Con controllers are larger, attach magnetically, and include a new C button for in-game chat. The fancy new Joy-Cons can also function like a mouse in compatible games. While battery life remains comparable to the original model, ranging from 2 to 6.5 hours, the Switch 2 includes an additional USB-C port, built-in microphone with noise cancellation, and Wi-Fi 6 support. New features include Game Share, a function that allows players to share and play compatible games with others who do not own them. Users with a Nintendo Switch 2 and a Game Share compatible title can invite others to temporarily join the same game via local play with their Switch 2 or original Switch. Game Share also integrates with Game Chat for online play, enabling voice chat among players using Switch 2 systems.
Additionally, Nintendo is releasing a camera accessory for the Switch 2, priced at $49.99 USD. This camera enables video chats through Game Chat and connects via the console's USB-C port, supporting TV, tabletop, and handheld modes. It features an adjustable wide-angle lens, a high-sensitivity image sensor for automatic brightness adjustment, and a privacy shutter. Certain games, like Super Mario Party Jamboree, will use the camera for player interaction within minigames. Nintendo's game announcements include the previously mentioned in the bundle Mario Kart World, which will have an open world mode, dynamic weather effects, and races with up to 24 drivers. There will be enhanced Switch 2 editions of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, adding improved resolution, frame rates, HDR support, and a smooth 60 FPS experience. More upcoming titles include Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment for winter 2025 and The Duskbloods, a From Software multiplayer game, a Switch 2 exclusive, and that's looking at a 2026 release. The Switch 2 is backward compatible with most original Switch games and some accessories, though details on exactly which titles may not be compatible have yet to be confirmed. Ooh. How are you feeling about this huge reveal for the Switch 2?
I'm actually pretty excited. My husband and I, we're big Switch folks for a while. We have like way too many Joy-Con controllers. We have all these kind of charging apparatuses and things like that. And I think the thing that got us away from Switch Play was honestly our Steam Decks and, maybe more non-Nintendo games. I don't want to say necessarily more quote serious games, but just maybe like the different feel of the Steam Deck, which I feel like as much as I kind of like everyone else had this like feeling that the Switch 2 lacked some whimsy and let's say weirdness. I've heard multiple people kind of refer to it as that Nintendo weirdness. I'm actually really excited by all these upgrades, like a lot of quality of life upgrades, like obviously like the refresh. I think there's a lot of really good things here. And I don't know about you, but I'm really excited about all the backwards compatibility.
Oh, yeah. I love being able to move my library over and stuff like the enhanced editions. Like I have a PS4 and a PS5 and honestly, kind of nice to be able to play Final Fantasy XIV with it being slightly prettier and way faster loading on the newer console. Though I am genuinely disappointed that the Switch 2 is not launching with OLED. Like, it's going to come and it's going to come in a separate console. And do I really want to buy this twice?
I know some people out there will be because we certainly were tempted by the OLED Steam Deck version. So if my personal data points of 2 have any relevance, then yes, I'm sure they're going to do that. And certainly some people raising my hand very ashamedly will probably go for it, or we should just wait. I was kind of concerned about, cause we have so many Joy-Cons. And I think that was one thing that was really great about the original Switch was just that wonderful ecosystem of like accessories. It sounds like we'll still be able to use some of them at least wirelessly. So that makes me feel a little bit like just a tiny bit better. And it still feels like this idea that, hey, we've got a new thing for you. It feels a little more grown up. It feels a little beefier, but we didn't forget that, I don't want to say don't forget, but we want to, appreciate, reward folks that have already spent a lot of money on the previous Switch.
You feel like you're protecting your investment a little bit. So my Joy-Cons will work. My Nintendo Pro Controller will work. What I don't think will work for me, which is a bummer, is I have these Hori grips, which are bigger. It's like 2 split controllers on each side, which I love. And it had programmable buttons, but it sounds like that's a feature that's going to be available natively, and the controllers are bigger, so maybe I can hold it without hand cramps this time.
Yeah, and I really like the idea of integrating the chats with it, and I don't know if that has anything specific to do with it. Feels like our gaming world has become much more social, streamy, just like, I don't know, like, I mean, I know like multiplayer gaming has been around forever, so this is not new, but I guess just the importance of that and being able to connect with people, not just through game and game chats, but through, through even video chats. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe after the pandemic, we all felt like just being a little bit closer, being able to actually see people. I don't know. I kind of like that integration with it. It feels modern in a sense. Like it definitely feels like they're responding both to like their history with the Switch and kind of, I think to be fair, kickstarting this like modern era of like handheld gaming, but then kind of like also responding to what people need or maybe like adding in all these like modern niceties. I really like that too.
It is a big step for Nintendo. Like right now I can do like voice chat on Splatoon through the Switch app, which is on the phone. And like usually Nintendo is extremely protective of their young audience. So it is curious to see what kind of limits this will be and how easy or difficult it will be to add people to your friends list. But this also keeps more people within the Nintendo ecosystem rather than using Discord and other third-party tools.
That's a really, really great point for sure. And it does feel Nintendo-y in a sense still, like they want to keep your nice like experience in-house and kind of, I wouldn't say control, but curate kind of like as you've been saying, just like, again, as kind of to keep their vibe, keep the, like their younger consumers protected, and just keep that Nintendo vibe going. It all seems to fit. I don't hate it. I like it. Well, DTNS is made possible by you, the listener, thanks to Brandon Books, Joni Hernandez, and High Tech Oki.
If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Work management platforms. Ugh, endless onboarding, IT bottlenecks, admin requests. But what if things were different?
We found love in an open space.
Monday.com is different. No lengthy onboarding. Beautiful reports in minutes. Custom workflows you can build on your own. Easy to use prompt-free AI. Turns out you can love a work management platform. Monday.com, the first work platform you'll love to use.
Hey, Prime members, are you tired of ads interfering with your favorite podcasts? Good news. With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free podcasts. That's amazon.com/ad-free podcasts to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Banking with Capital One helps you keep more money in your wallet with no fees or minimums on checking accounts and no overdraft fees. Just ask the Capital One bank guy. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. He'd also tell you that this podcast is his favorite podcast, too. Really? Thanks, Capital One bank guy. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
They say opposites attract. That's why the Sleep Number Smart Bed is the best bed for couples. You can each choose what's right for you, whenever you like. You like a bed that feels firm, but they want soft? Sleep Number does that. You want to sleep cooler, while they like to feel warm? Sleep Number does that too. Why choose a Sleep Number Smart Bed? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. Sleep Number Smart Beds start at $999. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. See store or sleepnumber.com for details.
There's more we need to know today. Let's get to the briefs.
Well, the New York Times has reported this morning that Amazon submitted a letter addressed to the U.S. Vice President and U.S. Commerce Secretary offering to purchase TikTok. New York Times sources involved in the talks, quote, do not appear to be taking Amazon's bid seriously, though. Amazon and TikTok have yet declined to comment. Amazon previously tried to enter the short-form video space with its own Amazon Inspire, which was a platform inside of the Amazon app, allowing users to post content around personal or sponsored products. With the intention of having it be a competitor to TikTok Shop, Amazon officially released Inspire in December 2022, but discontinued the service this year on February 18th, 2025.
I have never heard of that app.
I've never heard of it either.
I feel like, isn't this my job? How did I miss this?
Apparently that was the problem. And I mean, like, just the fact that it was discontinued this year. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, but it really, I mean, I think that I found it fascinating that people, whoever is in on these talks, because there's a lot of talks this week involved around TikTok, obviously, since Saturday's like their deadline. Mm-hmm. It seems interesting that people, quote, aren't taking this seriously, but it seems to make a lot of sense for Amazon, right? Because, I mean, with
all the shopping,
like influencers loving to say, hey, buy this thing on this platform, kind of makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. In other TikTok news, TikTok's Notes, a photo sharing platform, will shut down on May 8th. The app originally launched in 2024, and you may not be aware it existed since testing was limited to Vietnam, Canada, and Australia. Notified users are recommended to move to Lemon 8, another ByteDance app with similar photo features and editing tools. In a statement, TikTok notes feedback from TikTok Notes will be used to improve Lemon 8, which is available globally. As the United States ban keeps coming up, TikTok is definitely promoting Lemon 8 pretty hard within the TikTok app.
OpenAI technical staff member Isa Fulford revealed on X that ChatGPT's deep research function will soon be available for free tier users, though no timeline was announced. Deep research involves more than the standard answers and will provide detailed reports, but also taking longer than standard answers from 5 to 30 minutes. Microsoft already allows those with Microsoft accounts to use the Think Deeper feature through Copilot, which is powered by OpenAI's O1 reasoning model. 2 weeks ago, Google's Deep Research feature became available for free on Gemini.
Roblox has introduced new safety features to help parents protect their children on the popular online gaming platform. Parents who verify their identity using an ID or credit card can now use friend management to block anyone on their child's friend list, restricting communication with specific friends, and also prevent access to certain games. They gain access to detailed screen time insights and the ability to adjust the content maturity level of their child's account for age-appropriate experiences. These safety updates are part of Roblox's effort to comply with Ofcom's Online Safety Act, which took effect this year.
On April 1st, Wikimedia, best known for Wikipedia, posted seeing a 50% increase in bandwidth usage since January 2024, with 65% of the most expensive traffic coming from AI crawlers. The Foundation post says, quote, "Our content is free, our infrastructure is not." And, quote, "The amount of traffic generated by scraper bots is unprecedented and presents growing risks and costs." Wikimedia is able to discern traffic through patterns, as humans often look up specific and similar topics, while bots hit anything and everything. Wikimedia is now exploring sustainable ways for users and developers to access content this fiscal year.
Oh my goodness. They would obviously be a huge target for scrapers, but
100%.
Just costs across the board for everybody these days.
Yep.
Netflix improved flexibility for languages and subtitles while watching on a TV. Previously, only 5 to 7 languages were available based on location and personal settings, and now options include, quote, "the full list of available languages for any title." The demo feature shows Bridgerton dubbed in Spanish, Latin American, while showing subtitles in Korean, which is, it's worth watching. It's kind of a little trippy in their demo video. This feature was already available in the web browser and on mobile devices, so now there is parity.
Well, Adobe is launching Premiere Pro version 25.2 today with a slew of AI-powered features. One of these features is Generative Extend, which was announced in October. So Generative Extend is powered by Adobe's Firefly generative AI model and allows users to extend clips by up to 2 seconds. This allows for easier corrections or transitions without the need for shooting additional footage. Users can generate clips in 4K quality and even extend ambient background audio. 2 seconds when used with video and 10 seconds when used strictly as audio. However, this is just for background audio. Speech and music will not be extended. For now, Generative Extend is completely free, but eventually users will need to spend Firefly generative credits, with the credit cost depending on the format, frame rate, and resolution of the extended video.
That is a mighty huge update from their already previously heavy AI enhanced features.
Yeah, I think it's pretty impressive. I mean, your mileage might vary very greatly on how you feel about Adobe's products, their software experiences, and their pricing model. But I have to say, and I guess transparency, I used to work there a little bit for about a year. I do think that some of their AI features are pretty amazing. And I really honestly, genuinely like Generative Extend. It feels like a very specific problem that a lot of people will have. And I mean, generative AI, insert, Sturm und Drang about generative AI, but, extending one's own clips to make editing easier and to, get that extra second or two that you need, that kind of sounds awesome.
Those are the essentials for today. Let's dive a little deeper in the ongoing stories and follow-up.
Sometimes it's useful to talk about the tech that doesn't work. In part 2 of our talk with Chris Ashley, he tells us what tech has not been working well for him on his food truck.
Chris, thanks for coming back. And thank you for being willing to share the failures of technology with us as well.
Well, I think it's important for people to know, we talk about stuff we use all the time. And I don't know how many people talk about the stuff that is just garbage.
It's good to know that too, right?
It's definitely good to know.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe we'll get some folks helping you out here if we describe what's going on. But you've been trying lots of different ways to solve the internet system.
Correct.
And you had a wireless router recommendation from a mutual friend of ours. I don't know if you want to name them by name.
I'm definitely going to name Rob Dunwood as just giving me the worst advice ever for this dumb router. So I have tried many different ways to get Wi-Fi under the truck, and people have sent me messages previously. Some of them I was able to test, some I wasn't able to get with yet. But obviously all the tech that I use, Wi-Fi is extremely important to get it all to work. And not to mention my cash register needs the Wi-Fi. So I started out with a AT&T Wi-Fi hotspot. The device itself worked really well, but the AT&T plans for the hotspot, you can't add it to your current phone plan. You have to get a separate plan for it. That's terrible. So that thing went the way of the dodo. So
that's so frustrating though. If you have a piece of tech where you're like, it could work just fine, they just don't provide the service I need. That
the service, because basically you start getting limited stuff, and then the device broke on me. I'm not sure how. It did not fall in a vat of oil.
Okay.
But so I talked to a guy at AT&T. He suggested just add an iPhone to your plan and go from there, which for all intents and purposes worked decently, except the iPhone started running into issues where devices were dropping. I don't know if there's a hard limitation to how many devices can connect it at the same time, but literally I would have a device that would not connect to the iPhone until I turned something else
So you're sharing the internet connection from a phone.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Okay.
So I was talking about it, and Rob was like, I have this travel router I use. It's a gl.inet. I got it from Amazon, and when I travel, this is what I use. So, check it out. So I was like, okay, cool. Because that would be the solution, right? I could hook this router to my iPhone and then share the internet from this router. Well, I did that. I ordered it. This thing is only like $32. So it's not overly expensive. And I hooked it up, and I was like, okay, I want to keep this thing in my storage area on my trailer. So I put it in the storage area, and nothing, and I mean nothing in the food area of my trailer could connect to it because it's got the weakest signal I've ever seen on a Wi-Fi device.
So Rob's using it in a hotel room that's a really small space, nothing in between him and the router. Yeah.
Right. This thing couldn't get itself out of a paper bag. It's so bad. I think I heard the signal screaming for help. So
I can't hear you.
I was like, please, I'm in here. Somebody let me out. So I have to keep it in the food area. And of course it's white. So it's definitely turned colors with baked beans spilled on it and macaroni and cheese spilled on top of it. But more importantly, it doesn't reconnect very well to the iPhone. Sometimes I have to reboot it. And all in all, this thing has just been a disaster to the point where I've turned it off and I just went back to using the iPhone. I'd rather manage the different devices than keep messing around with this thing. Just really, really bad. So I would.
Yeah. And the, using a phone as a hotspot is great for a device, right? And you can do more than one device as you are doing, but I'm not shocked. And I don't know if it's a hard limit or just kind of a protocol strain with that Bluetooth chip, because it's not a router chip in there,
right?
Per se. So yeah, I'm not shocked. Have you got any other prospects that you're looking at?
Yeah. So somebody suggested me I look at T-Mobile's plans.
Okay.
And I thought it was a great idea. I just hadn't.
So same thing as AT&T, but you just get it from T-Mobile. Okay.
Right. So I recently, becoming more frustrated with Wi-Fi, started looking at the T-Mobile plans, and they actually are significantly cheaper than AT&T, and they looks like they have a similar device. So the person who was a fan of your show suggested that I look at their it wasn't mobile internet, but I think it was like a business type mobile internet. So just a little bit different than just a hotspot.
Okay.
And so that one looked interesting. So I'm going to find a T-Mobile store and kind of go talk to them about it. But they said wasn't meant for people to drive around with it, but
it's
it does
meant for home use, right?
Yeah, exactly. But it does
or
work in that
space
capacity
or something. Yeah.
And then they have their mobile hotspot, which is like only like $35 for their plan. So I thought that was interesting because that's like significantly cheaper than what AT&T is charging. Of course, T-Mobile's got probably the smallest network that I've seen out of everybody. But as long as it works in the general areas, because I can always go back to the iPhone as a backup if need be. I just want a single device where everything can connect to it.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing more nerve-wracking than when you're trying to remotely connect to a device and you can't. That's where it really gets a little hairy. Even when I'm on the truck and I'm doing service, I can always pop my phone in if I need to and take orders and stuff like that. But that would, I'm trying to sleep and I can't check the temperatures. That'll, give you a heart attack.
What about satellite stuff? Like, have you thought about Starlink or anything like that?
So it was brought up to me as a potential option, but, I don't see myself rocking with old guy. So, and this is a consequences of, being a polarizing figure, right? You get to that point and you'll inevitably, you'll have people that just don't want to look at your services. So that's probably my stance at this point for Starlink, at least. And it's not that bad, right? I've been doing this for a year and a half, and for the most part, things work with the iPhone. You know what I mean? It's just like, periodically, I may have to turn off the sharing and turn it back on or reboot it. That's the type of stuff that you're looking at. But the upside is using the iPhone, it's unlimited, right? Because it's on my plan.
Yeah.
Already. So that part is pretty cool. So it's not terrible, but it's not as robust, I think, is the ultimate thing that that I'm looking for. I want a really robust mobile Wi-Fi network that no matter where I go, it just works. And that's what I'm looking for to solve.
Well, I guarantee somebody listening to this has thought like, oh, what if he tried this? So if you got ideas, send them our way, feedback@dailytechnewsshow.com.
Definitely.
And we'll pass them along to Chris. Or you could just find him on the internet. If folks want to find either the podcast or the food truck, where should they go?
Definitely check us out on barbecueandtech.com. Or if you want to just see shots of the food truck or message me, you can find me on Instagram at Barbecue and Tech or Facebook. Same thing.
Chris, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me update folks.
Apple has lots of power users and hipster users, but what about the rest of us? Eileen Rivera and Sarah Lane co-host Apple Vision Show to talk about exactly this. Get subscribed now at applevisionshow.com.
If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Banking with Capital One helps you keep more money in your wallet with no fees or minimums on checking accounts and no overdraft fees. Just ask the Capital One bank guy. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. He'd also tell you that this podcast is his favorite podcast, too. Ah, really? Thanks, Capital One bank guy. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
We end every episode of DTNS with some shared wisdom. Today, Charles Basden wanted some clarification.
Charles writes, where can I get the BOL 20th anniversary episode? I heard the snippets and I really want to listen to it. I started with BOL when it was you and Molly with Veronica as producer, so I really look forward to hearing all of it. Thanks.
The Buzz Out Loud archive can be found at buzztownarchive.com, and the anniversary episode is the first blog entry on that page. You can also get it by searching for Buzztown Archive in your favorite podcatcher app, where it will be listed as episode 1590. We all still look exactly the same. And of course, we'll have a link in the show notes of this episode of DTNS Briefing.
Thanks to Chris, Ashley, and Charles for contributing to today's show. And thank you for being along for Daily Tech News Show. The show is made possible by our patrons on patreon.com/DTNS. DTNS has a live version called DTNS Live on YouTube and Twitch. Find details on that and more at dailytechnewsshow.com. Talk to you tomorrow.
The DTNS family of podcasts, helping each other understand.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
I'm Josie Santee, health coach, wellness editor, and host of the Every Girl podcast, where we cut through the noise with realistic, expert-backed advice to help you thrive in every category of life while still loving the person that you already are. And part of loving yourself is being really authentic to you, including the clothes you wear. In partnership with Nordstrom, we're helping you update your spring wardrobe so your style is fit for your best self. Nordstrom brings you the season's most wanted brands like Skims, Mango, Free People, and Princess Polly, all under $100. From trending sneakers to beauty must-haves, we've curated the styles that you'll wear on repeat this spring. Free shipping, free returns, and in-store pickup make it easier than ever. Shop now in stores and at Nordstrom.com.
Banking with Capital One helps you keep more money in your wallet with no fees or minimums on checking accounts and no overdraft fees. Just ask the Capital One bank guy. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. He'd also tell you that this podcast is his favorite podcast, too. Ah, really? Thanks, Capital One bank guy. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.